How long what's the duration?
It all depends on you, man. However long.
I'm gonna talk.
Yeah. Hey, truth be told, man. So I'm in front of my computer now. I got the Zoom on. It's recording everything you just said. So we got Stepz Gregory, y'all, before the interview. Brother man is busy, y'all. Yeah, hey, I'm down for that. Hey, y'all, what's happening? It's your brother in the footwork and your footwork newsboy, DJ Cornerstone, and you're watching Give Us the Works on the Footwork Out YouTube channel, where I interview various dancers, DJs, and producers. So y'all pay attention as our guest today gives us the works. Man, right on, brother Steph. So check this out. For everybody that's listening and everybody that's watching, I want to let y'all know who it is we got with us today. So y'all, he is a father, a raw footworker, the orchestrator of Footwork Fridays, and there's more, man. He's got Zoom classes on Footwork King. And I got a question on one of these things. I believe you do too. We'll get into that. But everybody, give it up for our brother, Stepz, the incredible Gregory. Or how you want to say Stepz Gregory, the incredible.
You can call me Stepz, but I'm just incredible at what I do. That's the only reason I named it.
Man, that's what's happening. Yes, indeed, man. You get down, man. I was like, I wish I could be like him when I grew up.
You're probably older than me. That's that's the more encouraging part about it too. I love to see even the people that's elderly into me. They see a different glow. They don't see just his negativity like with him. Within me, you'll never read it from me because it's like it leaves a lot of people curious because I don't really talk as much. That's another thing too. Like when I come to battles or something like that, you send me around, I come to do damage and that's all. Then I leave. I still hug everybody. I talk my stuff, but at the end of the day, I've always been the quiet one in the room because I'm very observant. I've been observing the game for years. So it's like with me, if I do see, I try to do anything. I try to make myself, the eyeball of trying to make everything different from everybody else. Because that's just how I built my style into too. Because it's like everybody that I grew up around, even if they wasn't. I have I'm like Shang Tsung. I have multiple styles inside me.
Come on with that Mortal Kombat analogy.
I am, but it's like I'm like Shang Tsung to it because it's like I know when to transform, but it's like I do it my own way, and people, that's what they love about me because of the fact that, especially on my side of town, it's like I tell people I don't consider myself. That's why I call myself Stepz the Incredible, because I don't want to be labeled. I don't call myself King Stepz because it's like out west what I had to learn. At one point I was like, yeah, I'm King Stepz because it was an egotistic. It teaches you how to be more of an egotistic thing. But it's like once you got your people telling you, man, you the king on our side, and the pass the torch. That's what we do out west. It's a pass the torch ceremony, and it just giving respect who got the thing about it. Because the stories are but we don't get dig into it, but I'll say overall on the west side of Chicago, it's broken down into turfs, basically. It's like everybody, even out west, I'm not saying we all come together, and that's the purpose of House of Wurkz. House of Wurkz is technically not a battle clique. I don't consider that, because within House of Wurkz, if anybody looking, they'll see that I got multiple generations inside the association. Basically, I used to bring all the entrepreneurship towards the people that was before me and the people that was under me and the generations under me. So I just made it to the point where House of Wurkz is basically what it is. It's a house full of different styles, which the groups such as far as the old groups that used to be for Main Attraction, the Squad. I have these things. I have members in my group that's from every, I have a member from every group that's from out west. And so it's to bring not just no super group, but it's to keep the motion of all them groups still alive always. Because I'm like, by me being in 187, and people like to still have Kwanzaa a part of what I'm trying to push with the House of Wurkz thing. You know, and it's like it's not to manipulate the game, it's just to show the game that it's some kind of unity within it.
Come on, man.
So I've been crafting on this for a couple of years, and a lot of people they overlook it because they be like, man, oh man, he just talking, because it's like you gotta look at it. By me, when I was joining Footwork King, a lot of people were like, oh, he went commercial, and it was like I made it seem like I went Hollywood or something like that, but it was like it wasn't that.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that even when I was there, I stayed myself, but it was like I took it and I had to learn with a lot about even the professionalism of what we can probably can do. I tapped into it by me being. I'm from the west side of Chicago. I'm like I live where I grew up at still. So it's like I haven't changed and not a bit. I moved from here several times, but I'm back where I'm started. Because I was like, I'm back in the community where I was birthed and raised, and all the people that it's like I can go down the street, like all the OGs live down or in the whole area of where I live at. So it's to still keep that modern thing to it. Like I'm still from where I'm at where I'm still at. Because it's like the gift that I have is that I tell people I'm not rich, but I'm rich in people.
Come on, man, that's it.
I'm rich in people because of the fact that it's like the people that acknowledge me is more than his family, and that's I want only genuine family and support. That's what's missing from it's missing in a lot of areas of the footwork culture, because it's like a lot of people they'll look at it, even for people that's overseas, like they shouldn't have to look at it and be like, man, it's already thinking in the head, it's hard to get to Stepz. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be. It should be to the point where it's like, all right, you see me, people see me in the streets, and they're like, even when I came back from America, that damn thing. Me and TJ went through this. I say when we got sent home from America's Best Dance Group, coming back home and being in the airport, and we see somebody like, man, we just sent y'all on TV, just to recognize it was an older, elderly white couple.
Wow.
So it was like man, we were just watching you, and it's just like this to say it, man, look at each other like, bro, we coming back into the hood.
Yeah.
And we was like, we hood celebrities. I tell people that's where that comes from. We hood celebrities in our hood, and we made it to them. But it's like, even them, they see us every day. Like, hey man, what's up? You still dancing? And what you doing? But it's like there's so many people there's so many lost soldiers and stuff like that that's still around. But it's like they have to get tapped into that energy. That's the energy. The energy is missing from a lot of stuff. I say that's, and we very powerful. I say once we come together, and a lot of people are like, there's a lot of iconic people that you gotta look on the west side. If you look at it, if I line up, like, not to saying on some south side versus west side, but it's like it has to come to it, because it's always everybody forget in the game. This is a competitive realm. Yeah. We put ourselves in it because it's like at the end of the day, it's sparring to the most high. But at the end of the day, it's like what has to change within it is the evolution. Like I try to change. I don't try to do nothing that I did in other things. Everybody like, man, what made you come up with that? And I'm like, I blanked out, bro. I don't remember some of it. I'm like, I dance from the soul. That's my biggest thing. I won't feed nobody nothing that I rehearsed or made. That's what me. But I didn't know wrong with it, because it's showing the aspect. But it's like being in the game so many years, I can't keep going out there looking like something that like practice. No, you gotta be the full throttle. You're like, man, Joe, you gotta take the measures, because it's like it has to be a ladder going, and the only way that ladder is made is to go up. So at the end of the day, it's like it's not one person can make a ladder and then stop like that, and we stuck on it. No, we gotta go take it to another one. Like, all right, now you building skyscrapers. Come on, you bring your ladder. Let's patch it all together. But yeah, that is how it goes.
And yeah, that's it. Forward progression. Well, I want to ask you, for one, back into the footwork part of you, because we're gonna get into more parts of you.
Okay.
So did your first footwork crew, your footwork beginnings, did it start with Main Attraction or did it start with 187? Like which crew?
Now this is gonna be interesting.
Okay.
I remember I said we was broken up into terms. Now I was a big fan of Main Attractions as a kid because I used to see them doing like block club parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I like we live in that like the area was the Austin area, which is like where I'm at now, where I live in. So and the Austin area it was conducted with like I said turfs. So I lived in like L-Town. I'm from L-Town, basically from basically Laramie. I'm from like Laramie and Lake on that end. So that little small area, I started from that small, my block from Latrobe and Fulton. I started from Latrobe and Fulton and expanded because it was like in Austin High School, the high school that's everybody Main Attraction. Terrain Ellis, he was the dance coach there. So he was like, he was youth coordinator. He was like an advocate for the youth at the high school. So it's like that's how he had his hands on into building the groups that he had. Because it was like Main Attraction they had a chapter under them, which was Unity, and that was the one that went on to the Apollo at the time. So I was friends with all of them at that time in high school, and I graduated from Austin, but I would never join. I tried out for them and Austin, but it was like I had my own little crew. That's the thing. That's why I said I started with my own little crew. We was called Takeoff Crew, and these are like my brothers still to this day. It was 4 of us. It was Mike, Senio, and Tans, and we probably had like it was just us 4 basically because we had the airbrush shirts and stuff like that.
Hey, was that track named after y'all? Made after y'all then? Takeoff
Crew. No, it wasn't that one. It was we just called ourselves Takeoff Crew, but it was that what made us make that name because we used to hear take the takeoff. Yeah. So it was like because we used to. That's the thing about it. It started from us going from there to all the parties out west. So it's like how I got from being in L-Town to traveling to K-Town to the Holy City. Then it's like going to Maywood and stuff like that. So I was basically like I didn't know I was going to parties and. Every time I battled, my name was started coming across for certain people, and they were like, "Man, Joe, who is Stepz?" And then like now I'm getting known in these communities. Like I was building, I was like, it was a slow build at that time. But then I'll say, my first actual from Takeoff landed into this. The thing about it, I was in the era of when it was footworking was a privilege. Now, when I say that, I was in a dance group, which was like when Main Attraction was around, but you had TJ made Daily Alliance, which was basically choreography. We were doing choreography and doing like that's when the competitions used to happen with the dance groups. Before the footwork cliques kicked off, so that's what I'm saying. I merged from being a dancer first. Like I wasn't always a footworker. That's what I tell you. I was never always a foot. I was like I was learning at that time where I was just I knew some when you grab somebody's shirt. I was one of them at the parties, but it was it wasn't so big because it was like choreography. If you're doing choreography, you're gonna do it. And then it was like back then you had to do all the choreography before you did the footworking at the end of every practice. That's that's what I'm saying. It's a difference between it's a generation type. So I was in that generation where it was like, all right, man, y'all know we whipping and Yes, I was in that era, so don't die there. Everybody know they think I'm just only a footworker. No, I came in. I was in daily lines. I was crumping, pop locking, breakdancing, and all that at that time.
Stepz, I can see it when you dance, man.
Yeah, I'm talented.
You waving and everything with your works, man.
It's come from that. So I like when I was around when the transition started hitting with the battle clicks. I'm still seeing it happen. So I'm like, dang, I'm hearing about creation. I'm hearing about Terror Squad. Then from daily lines, it went from daily lines to once the dancing kind of broke down, we just footworking just started seeing it into a click mode, going to battle click mode. that's when I was still around with TJ, brought me to No Mercy, which was No Mercy was really DB from 187. He started No Mercy. So that was that with that. Then I say it turned from we were still being with them. But I think I wasn't with No Mercy. I came at the end of it when No Mercy turned into Heat Squad.
Oh. Okay.
Now Heat Squad. Now this is the thing about it. Heat Squad was, everybody don't know, Heat Squad was just not only a one base thing. It started off with all of everybody together. Because you had 187 just came back, but they was an adult group. You had Burn Unit, you had Fade the Black. These was all the battle clips really was all up under Heat Squad. That was like the whole chapter for it. But it's like it turned into the egotistic, somewhat people. It was too many leaders in one thing, so it didn't ever. So it's like everybody that was leaders of all the groups. We just left it, and TJ just kept the name, and he kept the whole push for Heat Squad to still go. So it was like everybody still stayed. We all stayed the same. We were still brothers and all that. Stayed in the same room. But it was like seeing it now. It's like everybody could say single, got their own groups. We got him. We got this. But me, I started from Heat. I was starting with the first string of Heat Squad when it broke to itself. Because we had Ghost and Moon, which was part of A+. And a lot of people don't like it was broken into terms because A+ was for people that was on Chicago Avenue.
All right.
So that was that. So at the end of the day, it was like everybody that was from the Ave and stuff like that, they made their side group. So it was like by that happening, it transformed. I think Heat Squad. I left Heat Squad to join 187.
Okay.
But it was like only did that because it was I wasn't getting no tick at the time. It was people like that was getting more tick than me in the group then because it was like you had Priest and Lil Moon and all like street names that people don't bring up now to these days. But it's like to get them their flowers. They was like the people that was at that time. Like I was still in my learning cadence. So, but I say when I got to 187, I was the whole change up. No, he goes. The whole change up was basically that I was learning. From Heat Squad, I was learning big move after big move. So it was like I didn't learn my structure until I really got into 187. But it took a while because it wasn't like they still let me run, but they were like, man, you got that battle mentality, Bobby. You know, they put me into that. I was how can I say? I was a recruiter. We pulled up on people and I was battling everybody. That's when when I got to 187, they already had Cookie, they had Shantez, and they had Scotty already. And that was like the young clique, and Shantez was the one that actually was the one that put me on with the battle. He was the first one to actually put me into that run, but because then Scotty was like that season 10, it was turf, so it was like everybody was coming to. Because at that time, 187 practice was at Austin Town Hall. Mm-hmm. And Town Hall was like known for this it's like from Daily Lines we used to practice there, but Trash used to practice there. It was like the Mecca, that and LaFollette Park was like, that's the two main park districts that let us, and Columbus. Okay. Because it was like, it's all in the Austin area. Mm-hmm. So them three parts we ran, and it was like Amber Hall, it was like the parties was there. But so like going to all that, it made the West Side to this what it was. Mm-hmm. We was broken into turf though. Like some people, it used to be it's more groups that was like back then that don't get spoken on, like the Fade Squads, because at the end of the day, a lot of people came from B came from Fade Squad, but it was a back and forth thing. Like that's what I'm saying. When I drop names, and a lot of people in my interviews, you're gonna hear me drop a lot of jewels and names because these are the people that birthed me into what I am now.
Yeah, right on. I was gonna ask you, like, who were some of your teachers?
I've learned from everybody. That's what I'm telling you. Yeah. That's why I say I learned from everybody. I'm gonna say this. I say DB showed me how to be fluent.
show you how to do it.
Bobby told me how to be powerful. Kwanzi was like, he was more into like, he was giving me how the bangs parts and stuff like that. He was cold, like all that. But then it was like tapping into it. That's what I'm saying. Even further down the line, I still met my genuine big goal was to do something with main attraction, which was when I made, because you gotta look at it, when I left 187, I basically, all the rookies that was in 187, which that I recruited, they came in. That's how I made Nemesis. We were just making Nemesis into a full chapter. That was Nemesis was technically a chapter for 187 from 187.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people look at Stepz just made a group. Nah, it was purposely still get a name flowers, but also still like I was just making, that was my transition, because I was like, man, all the youth I had, that's when I had people like the Tempos. I had Tempo and the Nemesis. I had there's a lot. I had a lot of people that went to other groups.
Devin
OD, like Devin OD and all them. I like at that time. I was in my peak. This is me being at 19 years old, and I had people and Nemesis was basically brought up with the members of, and that was with main attraction, which was Jeff, my wife Sharita. And that's like, I have a backbone, like that's why I say it's so mutual, because I keep the history upon me, because me and my wife, we is like been around. When she was in, we bet in 187. That's why I learned my true structure from. So a lot of people don't know that. I give credit when it's due. She was like, that's the person that gave me that. Taught me what I was doing wrong, and if I was like, I knew of certain moves and I probably was doing it in my own way, but learning the real history, she was the one that told me, hey, go to this person, go to that person, and you're gonna get the real, you're gonna see it where it come from. So it was like learning from and seeing it, and then seeing her, and then hearing that she was like assassin for main attraction. She was the only female. She was a female at the time, like that was wrecking, and still is to this day. That's what I bring up. But I said overall, that whole cadence, because it was her cousin Mike. That's what built my structure. So I say my teachers, I say it was my wife. A lot of people are like, for real, like,
that's raw. That's raw.
Real facts. Her, I say. DB Head in Hand, Kwanzi, Bobby, Eli from Burn Unit. Him and Keith, they crafted me into like my gutter part. Like that's how I keep it still, the gutterness, and keep my streets still going. I say, and Reggie, and that's what I'm saying. All these names, these are all the West Side iconic names. We got Reggie from that was Sky's the Limit. You know what I mean? It's like you got the and main two factors I say that they gave me taught me how to be in big moves. I say Lil June.
Say Lil Joe.
Lil June from that's from, he was with D Squad too. That's like he's a name that they haven't came up either too. You got Lil June. You got the Schaefer brothers, June, Shamari, Michi. That's when Weezy come around. So like the people, that's the village basically. So you seeing that it goes into turfs. Like you had Eli and they was in the Holy City. You had the Schaefer brothers, Weezy, and all of them from the village. And that was like how all of us still came to one. That's what made that's the purpose of House of Wurkz now still to this day.
Dang. So when did House of Wurkz start?
February 8th, 2013.
Man.
That's I say, and then we made
10 years.
Yeah, we've been around.
Man, come on, man. When's the anniversary celebration for House of Wurkz, man?
Crazy thing that you just said that, because we've been over here cooking up some stuff. So August 6th is our first picnic.
Oh snap! August 6th. Come on, man.
It's the Footwork Appreciation Month.
Right on, yeah.
And so what we doing is like we doing something. We cracking them up at the beginning, because it's like I know everybody doing it. It's low key. That's all I'm saying. You getting it exclusive right now.
Oh, y'all blessing me with these exclusives lately, man.
Yeah, so it's like we always gotta keep something on our sleeve because it's like we've been hearing. I ain't gonna lie, I know people that if they do time and they see it. We've been hearing that we don't, you know, the West Side ain't been on nothing. But guess what? We just been cooking. This is slowly, you know.
Growing. Come on.
Growing a little bit.
You know, the slow cook is that soul food. You know,
Yeah.
Hey.
There's so many seasons over here, man. I'm telling you, they don't even know it.
Yeah.
But, as I said, we got that in store, and basically, I say, man, it's like we have to celebrate. Like I know in February, it was February 8th was the date that we like that it all kicked out because I keep it to the date because that was our first. We've been throwing events since 2013, and we're like a lot of the ideas of stuff that happened because we was the first click because you gotta look at it. I had Detro in the the beginning of House of Wurkz. We had Spider. You know, a lot of people they came, they stayed. Yeah. They didn't. Some people didn't evaluate. They didn't see what the mental part was about it.
Yeah.
They didn't see what actually was gonna happen, but. It's like I'm gonna wheel my brothers back in. They know that, but at the end of the day, it's like they got to come down from a lot of people got to come down from their high horses because at the end of the day, I'm not trying to be the face. I'm trying to just be this. I'm trying to be that brother. Like man, Joe, he still looked out for us even when he made it. I still look back into my roots and I stay tuned. Because like that's one thing about the West Side. I ain't gonna lie, we don't play about ours. Like that's one thing. Like. I can go out battling and stuff like that. I get chewed out if I lose that battle. I come home and they you ain't do what you supposed to. And I'm very I feel and I'm very accountable for it because it's like being around with all I know. There's no choice but for me to take it to that limit, and it's like I have to keep. I was learned from everybody, so I'm the one that got to bring everybody back around.
Yeah.
So I'm like what I'm like the Aang of footworking, the last episode.
Hey, coach, man, y'all gotta watch these shows and play these games, man. Mortal Kombat and Avatar: The Last Airbender, because that's the perfect analogy. Because you got after you told me like you really was talking about everybody. Y'all, if y'all don't know, I'm gonna just tell you, Aang got all basically the coldest fighter in the world that's got all the abilities, all their skills is inside of Aang from before he was born.
His history and that I watch, you know, I love it, and it's like I stuck to it because of the fact that I'm like I always call myself. I feel like I'm the golden child for the West Side because of the fact that like it's being raised with them. It's like I love the real. I sink the real, and it never gave me no doubt that there's like I was never gonna. It wasn't no pressure to be great, but it was like being told that you're gonna be that one because at the end of the day, the work ethic. I put a lot of work into it. Like I still to this day, if I'm going to the laundromat, bro, I'll be making up moves and I'll be in the corner, in the cut, dancing. Like I'm still to that, but it's like even having that egg over that eggshell, like sometimes you gotta crack it, be like, all right, it's time. And I cracked the shell. That's all I've been doing over the last couple of years. We've been cracking my shell, like, all right, seeing what I can actually expose to the game.
Man, that's
because I gotta like that's one thing. Man,
keep on cracking.
The comeback is crazy. The comeback is real because of the fact that it's like it's a good one because it's like I'm 36 years old.
I was gonna guess 35. I was gonna guess 35.
Yeah, I'm 36, and I've been with the people that's before me, and it's like just to still see that they got the energy and the time just to put it, the belief in me. Is that's like I'm for the people, and I'm the people's champ out west. So it's like that's who they wanted. So that's what I try to do. I try to stand on it and be like the greatest I can, especially like even with showing them that that's like I'm doing it in a positive way. It's like you don't see me getting into it with people. If it is, we have a debate. I chop it up like, man, we don't move like that. I don't move into that point where I gotta look over my shoulder. I rather for everybody, especially in this culture, is still to think that way. Like, man, we all brothers and we come from the same cloth, and let's make it to the point where it's universal.
Yeah.
I know it's global, but let's make it universal because then we do it together. We stand together. That's for South Side, West Side, North Side, all together. That's for all of us. We need to do that because at the end of the day, there's too many egos. That's what's drowning us.
Yo,
it's drowning us because at the end of the day, it's gonna make us. Because I ain't gonna lie, like to me, I'm not taking the credit for what was going on with the whole Creation Global. I love that they doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But at certain things, the history still got to be told upon it because that you got to look at it. Being around OGs and stuff like that, they see it happening and they be like, man, you supposed to be on that platform, or somebody that's, it's other people that should be on that platform also too in that same development. But it's like out west, we don't have the resources. Everything from us is we doing from scratch. A lot of people don't get that. Like we do everything from scratch. Like we put our own money into it. We take money from our rent money to make sure to get out just to have fun in something that we love doing because it's like we don't have the resources. Like the park districts ain't really taking in what they got their own programs going on inside these facilities, and it'd be like either it's not to the point where it's not cultural and something for the community.
So what about and I'm gonna jump to this because I know y'all got Pastor Phil, man.
Yeah, we got Pastor Phil. But I worked with Pastor Phil at one point too.
Yeah.
And it's like the thing was I said it wasn't too much of a thing, but it's like the development of how everything was trying to come. Like I was just still in my making of trying to be learning how to manage a group. So it was like coming to him, I wanted to come to him correct. But it was like I know that in a lot of facilities nowadays, people give you the option, but it's like they are not. I say not him, but I've been in multiple facilities, and they give me that. We want you to do this, but it's strictly for them, and then they're like they want the outcome. You paying them, and at the end of the day, it's like, all right, what kind of exposure am I getting for what I'm bringing to the table too? And like we got to benefit on both ways if that's the case. A lot of then it's like it's a lot of old heads. Not to take from them, but it's like they have these businesses or facilities that they can let us use become the entrepreneurs now. But it's like we're not giving that hand to be giving it to because they got at the end of the day they still worrying about their insurance on these facilities and making sure that their money still from these facilities is still coming in because this is how they've been living for 20 to 30 some years.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I feel like that's the bridge that needs to go over because at the end of the day, it's like me coming to him, I'm a new threat, and I've been a threat. Even now, I hate to say it, I've been a threat in the footwork world, and also just trying to be stepping into the business world. Also, because trying to get a storefront is hard out west. You got all this, but it's like we didn't have the knowledge of going to find a grant writer or finding somebody to help us with our financial ways of what we can be doing.
Yeah.
Like getting an LLC. I just now learned how to. House of Wurkz just got LLC.
Oh, right on.
We just got LLC 2 years ago because I was just stepping into it. But it's like now making sure we stay on it. You got to be consistent. So it's like now everything that you do. We started off with I did a lot of I did 10 free events, and the last one was rest in peace to my brother Mikey, and that took a lot of toll on me too. That's why I just now stepping back into it heavy. Like even with the small clips of what's going on with the cage with Styles, going to we doing it's low key we combining that. That's another surprise that people probably don't see either. But House of Wurkz and Styles, it's like we trying to build something that's gonna make everything come together and stick. Not to be to the point where like, all right, we trying to do it for money, and then like the money gonna come, but at the end of the day, we got to put the work in to make sure we develop them finances for ourselves.
Yeah, man, right on.
And that's what get left out, and that's what I say. More than likely, that's what I've been really trying to I tried to surprise the game, and I was like, I say last year, I was in the field, but they was like, they didn't see it. Like I had a whole seminar in the Millennium Park downtown with the era, like House of Wurkz. We was open doing we hosted one at the Austin Town Hall Forum, and it's like that just having that connection that they still know that it's a group still out west. You feel me? That's still pushing the effort. It's like, of course, we Bobby and them, they elderly, but it's like we still have. That's what the purpose of House of Wurkz is, to still keep that movement out west going. Even if if you're too old and you feel like you still kick a leg, come on, you still representing what you came from.
Man,
it's like that's why it ain't to tie nobody down. Like, oh, if you was with Main Attraction and you coming in, you represent Main Attraction, but it's like it's an umbrella. That's all we trying to make it is. We're making an umbrella so we can be actually what we are.
That's good. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna give a shout out to Don Starworth, brother Don, man. What's happening? Because hey, he
that's my brother, man.
Word, yeah.
That is my brother.
Yeah, he told me, man, I was able to finally make the Terror Dome event, and I saw, man, I ain't seen that brother in 20 years. Yeah. And I'm looking, and he looked, I'm like, did you go to NIU? He's like, yeah. Like, man, Don, yeah.
And like, we speaking on, like, saying Sharita, then I got Don, he's with Phase Squad. You feel me? And then, like, that's it's keeping a mutual thing, and that's what we basically pushing for, man.
Yeah, that's good.
It's like that's just seeing us. It's sprinkling out. It's like, oh, he got this person, that person. Oh, he's smart as hell. But that's what I'm trying to push. I'm pushing it as that, man. I'm like, you got to be smart with this game because, and it's teaching me how to move is with a family. That's all it's doing, you know. We very family oriented. Me and bro was just on the phone 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh man. Hey, so this is about to cut off.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna send you another link. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take us a quick break and get back at it with more Stepz Gregory, the Incredible, on Give Us the Wurkz. I'll hit you in a few.
All right.
Footwork out.
Hey, well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned a lot. Be sure to check out our guest of the day's information, the individual social medias and websites. That way you can support, because it's a good thing that we all support each other, right? And yo, Give Us the Wurkz now is every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. So stay tuned. On the fourth Wednesday of this month, we shall continue our conversation with today's guest. But until then, be sure to take care of yourself. God bless you, and footwork out.
Footwork out.